Hey, I think it came back. There we go. So that was weird. Streamlabs was just like, lol, nope. Slabs! To differentiate from regular OBS. Okay. Let me get back over to the game here. Set to a particular server, or is it on auto? I do not know. I have done like zero tinkering with Streamlabs settings, so no idea. Are we okay? Do we proceed? Well, let's see. Oh yeah, it does connect to a particular server. It's not on auto. Maybe that's doing it. I found it. Alright, well, maybe when we go to break, I'll tweak that real quick. We'll just close the stream ever so briefly since my VOD is probably already fucked up. And I'll fix that. Anyway, because I'll probably forget by the time the stream ends. It wasn't letting me do it. Yeah, it doesn't let me do it while the stream is going, so I'm gonna have to do it later. Anyhow. Onward. Now that I'm back over here. Come on. Let's back it up a little. We'll just go here. Oh, shut up. Yeah.
薩摩藩に組みする我々は幕府とは敵対している身。手形を出せば関所で認められ、戦議を受けるのは間違いないでしょう。しかも今のあなたは薩摩藩の命で動いているわけでもない。
回りくどい物言いは好まぬ。何が言いたい？
人間たちの目につかぬよう別の道を通ることを勧めます。
I'm sorry, Tremois. It's real distracting once you notice it, huh? I just, like, want to draw some eyebrows on this poor bastard. I feel like it would help his design a little.
Kazama leered at Amagiri irritably, visibly annoyed by his suggestion.
別の道だと。この箱根に人が通れるような道が他にあるとでも思うのか。
ここで騒動を起こすべきではないと言っているだけです。
幕府は鳥羽伏見の戦いに敗れている。今さら薩摩とことを構えようとは思うまい。我々が薩摩の手のものだと知っても見て見ぬふりをするだろう。
人間を甘く見すぎです。 確かに総大将にはもう戦う意志などないでしょうが。
No, that's like the... I think that is the top of the orbital cavity, actually.
幕府側の人間が皆物分かりのいいものばかりとは限りません。
I like Ethan's theory. I think that's probably correct.
天霧貴様、この俺に意見するつもりか。
Kazama was fuming, and his voice only became louder with each smug refutation given by Amagiri. If they continued to bicker publicly, then the soldiers stationed at the Sekisho would surely notice. I must find a way to calm down Kazama somehow.
Alright. We need to stop them from picking this dumb fight.
If the two of us have trouble entering the city, then it may arouse the suspicion of both my father and my brother to our plans. Although the trip may take a little bit longer, we should probably look for another route. Kazama's lips pursed momentarily, carefully thinking over what I had said.
確かに、奴らにこちらの動きを教えてやる義理もないか。
The hidden third option. I don't think we can suplex him or anything. We're kind of small.
まあいい。お前が構わぬというのであれば、別の道を探すことにしよう。
Hi, Lady Kadesh. How are you? We're Kazama-ing.
ただし、道がどれだけ険しくとも泣き言は聞かんぞ。いいな。
Wow. Share the eyebrow edit? I guess in the gaming channel? Or you can actually post links here, Danny. That's fine. They should go through.
Yes, I understand.
それでは私はこれで。道中お気をつけください。
Amagiri bowed respectfully. Without another word, he spun on his heel and vanished into the desolate wintry forest. Kazama and I nodded at one another, walking away from the Sekisho toward an uphill trail that was far from the well-trodden path.
Do people still use tiny? I don't know. Just share it in Discord and yeah.
早くも息が切れてきたようだな。だから言ったのだ。
He sounds so annoyed with us. But I'm starting to get the sense that annoyed is basically his general personality.
No, I'm fine. The steep inclines around Hakone were dotted with wide, thick boulders, which made our grueling hike even more laborious.
Okay, I need to see this. I'ma go look at eyebrows. Ah! Oh god! Oh no! Oh no! Nope. Nope! Definitely still not even remotely dateable. I need to... I'm still giggling, and I need to try and read. God damn it. Lady. That is so correct. Oh, Danny has a really great Discord. I do not have one of my own at this time. I just hang out in hers, and there's lots of cool people there. If you want to plug your Discord, Danny, you are more than welcome to do so. More fam for the dragon fam. Thanks for clipping that, rude. Anarsis also has a great Discord community as well. Fam for the dragon fam! Honestly, let's be real. That's like Danny's servers where we all hang out. Let's back it up so I can read through this bullshit again.
早くも息が切れてきたようだな。だから言ったのだ。
No, I'm fine. The steep inclines around Hakone were dotted with wide, thick boulders, which made our grueling hike even more laborious. A billow of thick mist stretched all around me, obscuring my sense of direction. Just then...
Alright, y'all are laughing. I need to see what the hell Ethan did. I'm worried. God damn it! Oh no. It's so amazing. Oh. You guys. You kill me.
My foot slipped on a wet, loose rock, and I just nearly tumbled off the cliff into the valley when a hand grabbed hold of me. I tried to shake off my horror upon seeing Kazama on the edge of the cliff as I held on to him for dear life.
大事はないか?
Decorate Hamagiri's face game for New Year's? Oh god.
Oh. In one swift, forceful movement, he yanked me back up onto the trail. I was silent for a moment, steeling my nerves from that near-death experience. The thought of Kazama rescuing me stood at odds with the initial impression I'd had of him as a crude, sadistic warrior who hated the Shinsengumi. Although this wasn't the first time he had saved me, it was something to which I'd needed to become accustomed.
なぜ返事をせぬ? 怪我でもしたのか?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
行くぞ.
So awkward.
Kazama spun around to continue trudging through the trail, keeping my hand tightly clasped in his.
Okay, Lynn. Boop. This is almost cute. But hey, we've achieved handhold. Kazama with a hipster goatee would look awful. We did get a handhold with Heisuke before the end of the first game. Hand holding? Who is this? Heisuke? Drink, Danny, drink.
Kazama, what are you doing?
これとはなんだ?
You're still holding my hand. Oh! Kazama forcibly yanked my hand as he marched forward.
そっちは危ないぞ。俺の後ろをちゃんとついてこい。
Okay. Thank you. I was slightly embarrassed by Kazama's suggestion, but I did as I was told and wove his fingers into mine. His hands were surprisingly warm and comforting, despite his grasp being so firm. I almost forgot that they belonged to someone who could easily slit my throat at any given moment.
You know, Chizuru, you could maybe not vacillate between the, gosh, he's so nice, but he could kill me. A little bit.
Suddenly I remembered the question that I wished to ask him earlier, and I tugged at him slightly.
Stockholm love, oh god. Yeah, she's kind of like, oh, he's kind of nice, but also he could kill me.
Ah, that's so hot. Kazama,
なんだ?
were you trying to pass through the Sekisho for my sake earlier? Initially, Kazama had no response, instead choosing to glare at me from the corner of his eye, but...
お前たち女鬼は我々男鬼とは違う。負った傷こそすぐに癒えるが、体力や腕力は人間の女とほとんど変わらぬ。故に鬼の里から出ることはほとんどなく、その身は男鬼たちに守られてきた。
Woo! Look at that rampant racially bound sexism. Anyway. I know Narcissus is raging hard right now. Ugh, I know. My feelings are much the same, but anyway.
According to what Kazama was telling me, the natural instinct for male demons was to guard the well-being and safety of their women. Kazama would rarely mince words, but his comment offered me a unique insight that explained so much of his behavior. In a way, it reminded me of the Shinsengumi's imperative to keep me safe.
Did I screenshot this? This one, that is? I don't remember. There we go. And I now need to look at these links. What is going on? God damn it. I should stop looking at these fucking links of Amakiri's new hair. Y'all are going crazy. Hey, remember when we were at this point in Heisuke's storyline and we were all basically sobbing our eyes out because of how fucking sad it was? I'm kind of glad we're having a lighter time for now, cause the others are gonna be awful and sad, and anyway, let's continue.
もうしばらく悪路が続く。俺の手を握っておけ。
Okay, I will. Prior to this, I don't think anyone could have convinced me that I would be willingly crossing Hakone, hand in hand with Kazama. But as soon as we get to the other side of this mountain, we'll arrive in Edo. Were the stories true? Would Father truly be able to orchestrate a war with his armies of furies in Edo? I anxiously awaited the future, worrying myself about whether or not I could stop him in time.
Well, look at it this way, Narcissus. We're not on Sanan's story. I'm interested to see if that will surprise us, though. I truly am. We gon' save, because it's been a little while. Never saw none. We like problematic content? I don't know. It's an Otome game. Take it with a grain of salt. Never saw none, not even once. Listen, he kind of got an unfair deal because we played Heisuke's story first, and that is objectively where he is the worst and creepiest. Anyway. Oh, Ethan, that is a loaded question. Huh. Basically, he wanted to become like a vampire king and murdered people and drank their blood and made more furies out of them, and it was just not great. It was bad. It was a bad time.
By the end of our brutal hike through Hakone's unforgiving mountain ridge, we arrived in Edo safely, though my feet were ready to fall off. It was a stroke of good fortune that neither Father nor Kaoru had seemed to hear of our presence. My first order of business was reuniting with the Shinsengumi after weeks of separation, and so I set off in search of their headquarters, but the headquarters were vacant, as all of the soldiers had seemingly embarked on a campaign for their next battle.
Shinsengumi no renchu ga Koufu ni mukatta da to.
Yes, or at least that's what Dr. Matsumoto told me. I had also discovered that the Shinsengumi renamed themselves to the Koyo Regulatory Company. They were honorably tasked with protecting the territory surrounding Kofu Castle, so they mobilized their troops and marched for Kofu immediately.
愚かなことをする。せっかく鳥羽伏見で拾った命をむざむざ捨てに行くとはな。
What? They're not being foolish.
他に何と言えばいいのだ。徳川慶喜はこれ以上の争いを避けるため寺にこもって謹慎している。なのに奴らはなぜわざわざ戦火を広げるような真似をするのだ。
Okay, Jenny.
審判大名も不大大名も次々と徳川を見限りつつある今、どうあがいても勝ち目などあるまい。
Basically, daimyo that are affiliating themselves with respective clans. So, yay. Japanese history, you can look it up. They've been pretty faithful on that front in this game. These games. Basically, look up the Boshin War if you need to know what the hell is going on.
I wasn't sure if I was misinterpreting him, but was Kazama expressing concern over the well-being of the Shinsengumi? I'm in no position to judge whether or not they're making a wise choice, but I don't think they're the type of people to get hung up on the likelihoods of winning and losing.
Yeah, Lyra's correct. Look it up and be ready to be very sad. More context to this than Pretty Boys? I mean, you could totally play it and not give two shits about the history around it, but the history is really fascinating.
In my experience, the Shinsengumi warriors were more interested in never having to compromise on their strict set of standards. It was a lifestyle that was beyond my scope of understanding, since I wasn't actually a warrior. All of them adhere to their principles foremost, and this is an example. Of that, I'm certain. Kazama glanced at me from the corner of his eye, raising his eyebrow irritably to my suggestion. Just looking at him made me shiver nervously, and I noted to myself how strange it felt to interact with someone so unapologetically cold.
信じた道を歩んでいるだと。手負いの獣が暴れているのとどう違うというのだ。
Injured beast? Kazama dismissed the Shinsengumi to a degree that I could only describe as willful ignorance. I had never met anyone so incapable of empathy. It escaped me how Kazama could mistake their sense of conviction as a desperate show of self-defense. However, as much as I'd wanted to argue, I chose not to say anything. Just as much as Kazama had been basing his remarks on assumptions, I realized that I could just as easily be committing the same sin. In essence, there wasn't much of a point to arguing how other people decided to live their life.
新選組の連中のことなどどうでもいい。それよりも、行動や南雲薫の動向はつかめたのか。
Unfortunately, no. I worked as hard as I could to get concrete details from both Dr. Matsumoto, as well as some of my father's old colleagues, but none of them seemed to have any clue about where the two of them could be.
奴らが倒幕をあくまで押し通すなら、江戸で戦を起こす時に現れるということか。
So, a Tobaku is a formally staged coup to oust the shogunate from power, apparently. Sorry. Interesting timing.
Feeding Father's army of Furies would require a gratuitous amount of blood, which could cost the city thousands of innocent lives. I must find a way to stop Father's plot before there's any chance of putting Edo's citizens at risk. As I embraced this resolve to defeat Father in my heart, Kazama spoke unexpectedly.
まあいい。奴らも奴らが率いるまがい者どももこの俺が始末する。お前は宣告話に出た松本という医者のもとにでも身を寄せていろ。新選組の連中のところでも構わぬ。
Huh? Kazama's question blindsided me, and it begged clarification. What are you talking about? I can deal with my father and my brother myself.
俺がヤセの女鬼と交わした約束は、お前を江戸まで連れて行くというものだった。
He's like, okay, go away. Now, please.
行動や南雲薫の説得に手を貸せとまでは言われておらぬ。
But the entire reason we returned to Edo was to stop them.
そもそもあやつらがお前の言葉などに耳を傾けるとでも思っ っているのか。
Kazama raised a good point, and I thought back to what happened during the Battle of Toba-Fushimi. Nothing I said could have gotten through to either of them, which had been rather deflating. In spite of that encounter, I asked Kazama a question. Kazama, do you honestly plan on killing my father and brother? I may as well have been speaking to a ghost as my question hovered awkwardly without an answer. His silence was telling. He refused to look me in the eye, choosing instead to stare blankly at the passers-by.
奴らは今後ますますまがい者どもの数を増やしていくつもりだろう。連中には近づくな。お前の手に負える相手ではない。いいな。
Not looking good for a second date, right?
He spoke in a hushed tone. Oh. Without another word, Kazama vanished into the crowd of people bustling down Edo's streets. I realized too late that I hadn't properly thanked Kazama for safely escorting me back to Edo. It was a far cry from how I had originally been acquainted with him. That is, as a thorn in the Shinsegumi's side. For all intents and purposes, our arrangement was over. This was not an issue for me, but what else was there for me to do at this point? To prevent the terrifying expansion of Father's army of furies, Kazama had only one option. Finding Father and Kaoru, then killing them.
Kazama's like, all right, well, I did my job. You're here, safe. Later.
I must do everything in my power to stop him.
She must do everything in her power to do a lot of stopping of people who are powerful. Anyway. Until next time, future waifu. Yeah, like, he's still all, well, you know, you're gonna be my wife and stuff later, but also, he's just like, well, you're here in Edo, so I got shit to do. Bye. What the heck? I'm so confused. This relationship is full of mixed messages. I don't know what to do.
After gathering my bearings in Edo, I decided on the one place that I could still visit unannounced. It was my childhood home, which had been left unattended for however long I had been gone.
There's a very clear message. Murder!
Part of me clung to the naive hope that Father would be there, waiting for me, but the yard was long overgrown, filled with weeds peeking through the cracked stone path. As I stepped inside, the tatami mat was coated in a thick layer of dust, giving me the impression that few others had visited since my departure.
I mean, in this context, it's probably a good thing.
Just where could Father be? During our last conversation, he seemed set on building momentum with his army of furies, toppling the shogunate and increasing his notoriety. But was that what he really wanted to do? A wave of nostalgia hit me as I entered my bedroom, which was untouched since I'd last seen it. I recalled the memory of Father using this room to treat patients long before it was a suitable bedroom.
食あたりですな。薬を出しておきますから、水を多めに飲むようにしてください。ん？ 今は持ち合わせがないですと。お題なら余裕がある時で構いませんよ。千鶴、向こうの部屋から薬を持ってきてあげてくれるかい？
Father treated every patient with intense care, regardless of their income status or how severe their illness was. He was remarkably kind, giving a personalized touch to each of his patients without expecting anything in return. He was a cherished, well-respected member of our community. Surely all of this had to be a misunderstanding. Originally, Father's impetus for creating the Water of Life was for giving the shogunate a shot in thwarting the Empire of Japan from forming. It proved to be a shallow pursuit in hindsight, and his egotism birthed what was arguably one of the most heinous creatures to ever live.
Oh, Lynn. You know? Like, I now have a lot of legitimate concerns. Hey, weird guy.
I grew angry thinking about it when I heard the front door creak as it slid open. Who could it be? Was it... I froze out of panic, slowly turning my head over my shoulder to sneak a quick peek.
誰かいるのか?
Oh, shit.
His voice was unmistakable. Father. I called out to him shakily in response, and from the corner of my eye I watched a silhouette slink toward me quietly.
千鶴、お前も江戸に来ていたのだね。元気そうでよかった。もし戦に巻き込まれて死んでいたらと心配していたんだよ。
I could see tiny tears forming behind Father's wide, light brown eyes. It was an expression with which I had been intimately familiar. I almost convinced myself that our last conversation took place in a nightmare rather than in reality. However, I knew better than for it to be true. Where's Kaoru? Has he not joined you?
ああ、彼には他に用事を頼んであるからね。
I flicked my eyes back and forth, trying to sense if any Furies were nearby, but I couldn't. This may be my only opportunity to speak candidly with Father, and perhaps even convince him. Father, answer me something. Do you really plan on creating more Furies as a way of manipulating the Imperial Army?
Oh! Hey, Mark! And thank you. And welcome back.
Chizuru.
That can't be what you really want, is it? Father, you didn't dedicate your life to becoming a doctor in order to save innocent people from dying.
Didn't you, rather?
When I was a child, my memory of Father was his incredible work ethic, how he'd bore himself into books on Western studies and medicine. He invested himself in his patients. I remember peeking into his room one night as he flipped through his books with only a lantern as company. There was no way that level of dedication could have faded so easily.
そうだな。純血の鬼であるお前と違い、雪村家の分家筋の生まれの私は人とそう変わらん。 子供の頃大病で死にかけたこともある。だからこそ私はかつての私と同じように病で苦しんでいる人を救うため卵医学を学んだのだ。
Father, so... It was just as I expected. Father still possessed an innate desire to care for others. My joy was short-lived as Father continued.
だがね、千鶴。いかに医術が進歩しようと、人間どもはそれを上回る速さで武器を作り、戦を起こし、互いに殺し合いを始めてしまうだろう。そうなれば、かつてのお前や薫君のような哀れな子供を次々と生み出してしまうに違いない。そんな愚かな生き物たちだけにこの国の舵取りを任せてはおけまい。
The mood in the room suddenly shifted. I gazed in horror as Father's body began to radiate a blinding aura as if he was being engulfed in flames. Out of reflex, I cupped my hands over my mouth. Father?
Assassination bits to murder Dad.
Two sharp horns started poking through the flesh on his forehead, akin to some kind of beast that I had only seen in a woodblock print.
Yeah, this is the route with all the horns.
His eyes were slowly changing to gold, nearly paralyzing me with their bright, ominous glow. What's going on?
我々鬼の真の姿だよ、千鶴。
The horny route? No. It might be the least horny in that respect. Literally everyone in chat.
Demon's true form?
人との根血が進み、鬼本来の血が薄まった私はこの姿になることなどできんのだが、あの素晴らしい薬、落ち水が私の中に眠る鬼の血を目覚めさせてくれたのだよ。
Oh hey, he's been sucking on the water of life. Yay. So that bodes well for his sanity.
So you've drunk the water of life?
ああ、その通りだ。
Cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool.
Words failed me. It was a nightmare scenario. And suddenly whatever delusions I'd had about expecting to compromise with my father were abandoned.
Oh, lady. That emote is hella creepy. Oh my god. So terrifying.
Not only had Father been creating furies, but now he himself was a fury as well. How recently he had consumed that vile serum was a mystery to me. But it was clear that the man who raised me was gone, and in his stead a monster.
鬼本来の力を発揮できる薫君と私、そして日の光という弱点を克服した羅刹たち。これらが我が手にある今、人間相手の戦で遅れを取ることなどはあるまい。
Thanks for villain monologuing, Dad.
No! I I shook with disbelief, crying frantically at my father as the realization of his crimes was sinking in. My time with the Shinsengumi granted me lessons upon which I otherwise had no perspective.
Kazuma's off drinking sake somewhere. Probably. It is a thing he does, we have learned. Lady.
When working in such a close capacity with people from different walks of life, one understands that getting your way is challenging. Compromise is key. For the Shinsengumi, having the Furies made this particularly difficult. For Father, however, without anyone to challenge him, there was no one to inform him of what an egregious sin he had committed against humanity. Father, please stamp out of this. Do you truly believe that you'll be able to easily curry favor with the Imperial Army and eventually usurp power in the process? Hi, Grim! Even the Shinsengumi, as strong proponents of the shogunate, were at the mercy of bureaucracy, which only served to frustrate and disenfranchise them.
Lady.
It was hard to believe Father and Kaoru would be capable of avoiding the same issue.
もし新政府軍が我々を利用するだけして切り捨てるというのであれば、その時は改めて奴らを始末してやればいいだけのことだ。我々にはそれだけの力があるからね。
What? Father's golden eyes beamed with an electrifying, almost unrecognizable madness.
さあ、我々と共に来るのだ。
How about no?
純潔の女王にたるお前が羅刹と交われば、さらに強大な力を持った子が生まれるはず。
How about definitely no?
そうなれば、我々雪村一族は鬼の一族の新たな始祖となることができる。
Hard pass.
我々の一族を見殺しにした西国の鬼たちへの復讐も成し遂げることができるのだよ。
Welcome back, Osari. Yeah, like literally what? But no.
Father wore a malicious smirk as he extended his hand out toward me. I desperately searched for an escape route, but Father moved with a heightened agility, grabbing my arm before I could even hit the ground running.
Oh no, he grabbed the designated female grabby spot of the upper arm. She's helpless now. Shit. Tropes are great.
Stop! Let go of me! I tried swatting Father's hand away, just as the panic began to set in.
ヨタ話は大概にしろ。
Oh good. Our neglectful boyfriend is here.
支援に取りつかれて正気をなくした者に鬼の一族の始祖など務まるはずがあるまい。
That voice. It can't be. Kazama! What are you doing here? I almost needed to pinch myself to believe that it was truly him. But he made no secret out of his irritation when he glared at me from the corner of his eye.
それはこちらのセリフだ。
Danny.
今後こやつらには一切関わるなと言っておいたはずだが、なぜお前がここにいる？
Or he assumed that she would like listen to what the hell he said and not try to put herself in harm's way, but whatever. Chizuru in this route is not particularly smart.
Well, I couldn't think of an answer off the top of my head, and so Kazama dismissed me, shifting his angered gaze towards Father.
まがい者どもを増やすのみならず、 貴様自身も鬼のまがいものとなり果てるとは。
Okay, fair. He's extremely hard to read.
貴様はよほどこの俺に切り捨てられたいと見える。
Kazama spat out in a low, bitter tone. He reached over to his katana and unsheathed it, ready to strike as he dug his heels into the tatami mat below. Something about his katana, though, intrigued me. Rather than reflect light in the room as a katana normally would, it produced its own shimmering gleam, giving it an ethereal, blessed quality.
Oh my god, Danny. Also, oh look, he went and got his family's magic sword, y'all. This is good.
落ち水を飲んだとて貴様ごときがこの俺と対等に戦えるとは思っていまいな。報道。
Father let out a yelp from frustration, partly out of embarrassment to Kazama's mockery, but mostly in the knowledge that he was no warrior. After a moment, Father grabbed a hold of my arm and shoved me where Kazama had been standing. I braced myself to hit the floor, thinking Kazama would sidestep to avoid me and charge at Father. Or so I thought. Instead, Kazama caught me flying toward him, wrapping his arms securely around me as I landed. 5 seconds ago, I expected to fall face first as I plummeted to the ground, but now this. Father, seizing the sample opportunity, bolted toward the house's back door.
待て、行動!
Kazama chased after him, but
取り逃がしたか。範囲も変わらず小賢しい男だ。
Father had disappeared, successfully evading Kazama's brief pursuit. As Kazama darted his stern eyes at me, I cowered in the corner. Thank you for saving me earlier. I bowed my head politely, but he raised the corner of his lip flippantly.
礼には及ばぬ。そんなことよりも、先ほどの問いに答えてもらおう。
Yeah, there's one of the things that you will find is that Chizuru's personality drifts a bit in each storyline. Some are better than others. She's really quite passive in this version, and I'm not a huge fan.
こたびの一件にはもう関わるなという言いつけをなぜ無視した？
I'm not sure. They might have multiple writers. I really never paid attention. This involves me too, so shut up.
Because I'm a member of the Yukimura clan. If my father and brother are plotting to commit these heinous crimes, then I can't let the burden fall on you to take care of everything, Kazama.
この間俺が言っていたことを聞いていなかったのか?
Yeah, exactly, lady. It's like, it's pretty much the standard, but more assertive would have been a little more interesting to watch, I think.
女鬼は男鬼に比べれば非力だ。 貴 お前がついてきたところで何の助けにもならん。
Also, this shit right here is kind of annoying.
I get that, but if you were in my shoes, Kazama, would you listen to yourself? Could you honestly live with passing on your burden to someone else? My question seemingly caught Kazama off guard. He gazed at me inquisitively, and together we were silent as the wind rustled the branches outside. After a long, awkward pause.
なるほど。雪村の棟梁筋としての自覚が皆無というわけではないようだな。
Yeah, it's like a time period thing for sure. But it's more that whole like, oh hey, conveniently female demons are way weaker than male demons thing that annoys me a little. And yes, we stirred the butterfly in his heart. When do we get to make you dinner and watch Netflix, Kink?
だが今後はこういった無謀な行動は控えてもらおう。
Narcissus, okay.
己の力量をわきまえぬ者は棟梁としてふさわしくないからな。
Okay, I understand.
目を離した隙にまた連中がお前をさらいに来ると厄介だ。ついてこい。奴らをすべて切り捨てるまでは俺のそばにいろ。
What? What the hell? Kazama! Dude! Honey! Like, what? What even? What even? I think Danny and I are having the same fucking meltdown right now. I'm like, I blue screened mentally at this statement. What is even? Why? Oh, lady. I like Ethan's version better.
Kazama spoke indifferently, turning around to head back into town. The thought of him promising to murder Father and Kaoru still unsettled me, but I suppose it was far better than being left in the dark, without any clue of where Father could be, or what he had been hoping to achieve. I scurried right behind Kazama as we left my house behind.
God, what even? Alright. I'm gonna go get a drink. I'm wishing I drank, like, alcohol right now, but I'm gonna go make some more tea and ponder what the fuck that even was. And we'll be back. Okay? So, anyhow, BRB, my friends. Oh, I just popped back. I see Ethan is leaving. Bye. Oh, this route is so weird. So weird. We're dating Heisuke again after this. I think we need to move on to one of the other like 12 available guys. But I'm sure most of the rest of them are not this weird. If we want something that's more emotionally similar to Heisuke, I would suggest either Soji or Saito. Saito is a giant sweetheart. Although I will say, in Saito's route, in the original, that is pretty much where you see Kazama objectively at his worst. Heisuke cinnamon roll. Kazama weird. Son on creepo. Hijikata dad son. We love our angry dad. Angry single dad. Yeah. They basically use him as the like main villain for Saito's route, if my memory serves me correctly. And wow, he's just a scary disaster in that one. Single dad finally finds love. Still too tired for this shit. Dad's trying. I mean, when your father and brother are objectively more awful than your potential boyfriend, I guess it's... I guess... And yeah, I think you're right, Lynn, because they've got Amagiri positioned as Saito's, like, rival, but because Saito and Amagiri are both, like, real proper and polite, there's no tension. They're just kind of like, oh... It's you again. I suppose this is the moment in which we fight. Are you prepared? Cool. It was weird. Honestly, aside from punching things extremely fucking hard, I don't know what Amagiri is, like, here for most of the time. Alright, are we ready to come back? Let's come back. Danny's just gonna doodle so much Kazama. I love it. Love, love, love it. All right. I don't remember saving before I left, so I'm gonna do it now. I probably did, but you never know.
By the time we returned back to Edo, the sun had set, dipping into the orange pool of the western horizon. Kazama led us to a secluded inn, adorned with modest decorations and lighting, as our lodgings for the evening, when, lo and behold...
Oh, I saw what Ethan was saying about basically being like a cat. It's like, here, look, I can kill things.
Amagiri was there waiting for us.
お二人とも無事で何よりです。して、守備の方はどうだったのですか?
Oh, that's right. Back in Heisuke's story, these two were roaming around Edo murdering Furies. So, you know, basically, like, they're being Batman and Robin out there in Edo. Killing bad guys. Or removing the problem. Anyway.
皮肉か。この俺の顔を見れば大方の予想はつくだろう。
Sorry, Daddy. Sorry. Listen, there's like a ninja, like a weird samurai ninja Batman Japan fusion movie that exists, so, you know. You have visual reference. Anyway.
そんなことより、お前の方はどうだったのだ?
いくつか分かったことがあります。説明に少々時間をいただきますが。
Amagiri answered coolly, glancing over at me after he spoke. Was he implying that I needed to step out? Just as I prepared my things to leave the room.
この娘も雪村の血を引くものだ。聞かせてやってもよかろう。無論当人に聞く覚悟があるのならだが。
In typical fashion, Kazama was speaking about me in a dismissive manner, but I took it to mean that he'd been respectfully acknowledging my agency in the decision to stay. No matter what it was that Amagiri had to say. If it had anything to do with father and Kaoru, then I had an obligation to stay.
Coco achieved.
I'm ready for whatever it is you have to say. Please allow me to remain here. Amagiri nodded deeply, taking a deep breath as he began his report.
南雲薫についてですが、どうやら彼は今、土佐藩士たちと共に甲府にいるようです。しかも、行動が改良を加えた新型の羅刹を率いて。
Kofu. If I remembered correctly, that's where the Shinsengumi had been headed. If Kaoru was leading a battalion of Furies along with members of the Imperial Army to wherever the Shinsengumi was marching towards, then it means...
新選組の連中は甲府で新型の羅刹と相まみえることになったというわけか。
Oh no. The evil giant super Furies are gonna go march where the Shinsengumi are supposed to be protecting. Oh no!
はい、その通りです。
Yeah. Yeah. Meow. This stream will never not have cats in it, no matter what I do. That was Tristan.
I couldn't get my body to stop shaking with worry. Would everyone be safe? During the Battle of Toba Fushimi, the Shinsengumi suffered numerous casualties, and on top of that, Okita, to my knowledge, had still been bedridden, and was in no suitable condition to wield his sword on the battlefield, according to Dr. Matsumoto.
今、江戸城では新政府軍と幕府側の交渉が続けられています。もし交渉決裂ということになれば、
江戸が火の海になることも十分に考えられるか。行動や南雲薫にとっては多くの生き地を得るまたとない機会だな。
はい。おそらく羅刹たちを連れ、一刻も早くこの江戸へ戻ろうと考えているはずです。とはいえ、多くの羅刹をかくまうことができる場所は限られていますから。
南雲家とゆかりがある土佐藩が怪しいな。
So, the Nagumo clan is just another Oni clan, basically. Yeah, we noticed, Rude. It's driving Anarisis and I to fits of rage. But anyway.
しばらく判定を張り込んでみるか。
It's worse than dumb quotes. I know. For the love of all. It hurts my graphic designer's soul.
As I listened to their conversation, an urgent feeling of panic raged inside of me, and I realized I was suddenly drenched in cold sweat. Edo could be bathing in an ocean of fire. If Kazama's prediction comes true, then Edo's innocent people will be helpless against the vicious tide of furies, eager for the taste of blood. Everything was coming together, and it horrified me to imagine sacrificing an entire city for the purpose of feeding this army's insatiable hunger. It was a violation of the world's sacred order, and we were running out of time.
Lady. She'd be like, listen, this is real bad. Why do this?
こうなると長州側の動きも気にかかる。薩摩の連中には俺の方から忠告しておくつもりだが、長州が行動や南雲薫の口車に乗せられてしまえば、全ては水の泡だ。
知らぬいから伝えてもらいましょう。つなぎをつけてみます。ただ、八瀬の里で会った時以来、戦場でも彼の姿は見かけませんでしたから。もしかすると、もうこの戦には関わっていないのかもしれませんがね。
Hard to patch a text fix. I don't know, actually. If if we're gonna patch a text fix, I would also just straight up change demon to Oni and call it a day. Oh, and floor to ground where appropriate.
Amagiri left us with that, bowing lightly as he exited the room. Kazama stood still for a moment before turning to me.
出かけてくる。お前は先に休んでいろ。
Oh, okay. Please be careful.
特別な用事がない限り、お前はみだりに外を出歩かぬようにしろ。
Really? Really? Listen, pal.
昼間のような出来事がまた起きぬとも限らぬからな。
You're not the boss of me. Look here, sir! Yeah, unfortunately she is used to it because Shinsen Gumi. God, I'm sorry. You're not wrong.
Okay, I understand.
Do we have Danny art? Do we? Oh boy. Oh my god. I love it.
Daisuki. Kazama lingered for a moment longer, gazing into my eyes to assure himself. Then he flew out the door.
Until next time, future waifu. It's getting harder and harder to take this route seriously as we go. There's so many problematic things here, but anyway.
I went to my room and prepared my bedding. As soon as my head hit the pillow, I fell fast asleep. In my deep, dreary slumber, a dream came to me. The setting was my childhood home, and my arm was being pulled by someone. Through a muted white haze, I watched smoke billowing into the sky, tall flames surrounding us at every turn as we tried to flee hastily. A familiar figure, not too far from my own age, was leading me somewhere by the hand. The burning village evoked a strange feeling of deja vu. Beside us was a small hill where I'd often pick flowers, and the pen that housed our livestock. Those places, like the memories attached to them, were becoming reduced to ash and cinder. And from the distance, I heard shrieks of terror. What was going on?
Yeah, that sound effect is way loud.
Who could possibly do such a thing? Were Father and Mother safe? As my mind swirled with anxiety, flames blocked our path, encroaching toward us slowly. Just then,
カオル君、千鶴ちゃん、こちらへ。
a voice frantically called out to us. Although his identity was unclear, I understood him to be one of my relatives.
早く捕まりなさい。炎に巻かれてしまうぞ。
I did as he instructed, flinging my arm at him before the fires reached where we had been standing. Rushing into his arms, the man led us into the forest at the outskirts of the village where our breathing became easier, away from the thick, smoky haze.
"ここまで来ればもう大丈夫だろう。焼け死ぬことはあるまい。
おじさん、どうしていきなりこんなことに。俺たちの父様と母様は。
Suddenly I realized who this boy was. It was my twin brother, Kaoru.
相当の大火事だったからな。諦めるしかあるまい。
And this man was...
それにしても人間たちはなんとむごいことをするのか。倒幕の誘いを断られたからといって静かに暮らしていた我々の里に火をかけるなど。
Yeah, basically, Kodo is probably not actually dad.
On that night, it wasn't our father, but a distant relative who saved us from being burned alive. He later assumed the role of my father and raised me. Kodo Yukimura. I awoke with extreme fright, tears streaming down my face hysterically. For whatever reason, my mind needlessly exhumed a memory that was buried and suppressed years ago. Now it was all coming back to me. That fateful night, humans mysteriously appeared and set fire to our village, and sadistically murdered dozens of people, including my beloved parents. Or so Kaoru later told me. In a selfish grab for power, they wiped our village from existence and attempted to absorb our lands. Father made one thing abundantly clear. Continuing to allow humans to rule barbarically and further their destructive tendencies, it would only produce more orphans, like Kaoru and myself. Although I was opposed to the idea of using furies, of all things, as a force to counteract mankind's penchant for destruction, at the same time there was a method to their madness, and I couldn't bear to think about how they coped with the memory of our people's genocide. A knock at my door snapped me out of my stupor.
すみません。起きてらっしゃいますか？
From the other side of the door, I heard the inn's attendant calling out to me. Oh, yes. What is it?
お客さんがいらしてますが、お通ししてもよろしいでしょうか。
A guest? Who could it be? One moment, please. I'm a little indisposed. Just let me arrange my bedding. After I tidied up my room, the attendant slid open the door and ushered in my surprise visitor.
お、なんだよ。ここにいるのはお前だけか?
Oh, what up, Shiranui? I'm guessing he's not here for us.
Shiranui, what are you doing here?
天霧の旦那から呼び出しがあったから足を向けてみたんだが、俺様としたことが 間が悪かったみてえだな。
It would appear so. Judging from our previous conversation, Amagiri was tirelessly hopping between locations to gather intelligence for Kazama. However, I believe Kazama will be returning momentarily.
そっか。そんじゃ少しばかり待たせてもらうかな。
Shiranui studied my room meticulously, and eyeing a spot to sit, plopped on the floor quietly. I watched nervously as he pulled his pistol from its holster and inspected it carefully for any smudges.
He's just like, all right, well, I'ma sit down. Plonk.
Hmm? なんだ?
Is it true that Edo might be the center of the next battle soon? I'm worried about something Kazama said. That it might be engulfed in flames soon. As I expressed my concerns, Shiranui suddenly froze, holding his pistol still in his hand.
まあ、そうなることは十分考えられるだろうな。
No. But aren't all of the remaining shogunate leaders and soldiers still stationed in Edo? How can they just let that happen? Do you truly believe that the people of Edo will simply roll over to the Imperial Army like that? The vivid memory of my village consumed by wildfire struck me once more.
Yeah, it is a little weird since they're now basically like, ah, well, you know, you're one of us, so it's cool.
If Edo were similarly engulfed in flames, then hundreds of people would assuredly burn to their deaths. This time there wouldn't be only 2 orphans. Hundreds, no thousands of children would be displaced, if not worse. I was sure of it.
少し落ち着けよ。そうならねえよ。今江戸城で薩摩と幕府のお偉いさん同士が話し合ってんじゃねえか。新選組の連中もうまいこと江戸から遠ざけたしな。
Huh? I didn't grasp the significance behind what Shiranui had said at first, and I prompted him to clarify. What do you mean by weaseling the Shinsengumi as far away from Edo as possible?
なんだ、知らなかったのか？幕府側は江戸を火の海になんざしたくねえんだ。ああいう後先考えねえバカどもは遠くに追いやっておくに越したことはねえだろうが。新選組の連中は尊攘派の奴らから恨みを買ってるしな。
I don't like what's happening here. This music is real fucking sad.
Shiranui revealed that the shogunate hadn't sent the Shinsengumi on a mission to tackle imperial army forces in Kofu after all. Rather, the shogunate offered them up as collateral, far away from the negotiating table with the Satsuma and Choshu, while they discussed terms of surrender. Instead of battling imperial forces, a more sinister threat awaited them in Kofu. The Furies. As I put the pieces together, I nearly fainted.
何やら話し声がすると思えば来ていたのか知らない。
てめえらが呼びつけといてその言い草かよ。こう見えても 俺様も暇じゃねえんだぜ。
Oh, that's right. He uses ore-sama.
貴様に2、3聞きたいことがある。さして手間は取らせぬ。
Kazama recounted our past weeks to Shiranui. He mentioned encountering my father in Edo, and described in great detail father's plot to gather blood in order to feed his army of furies. The most crucial detail, however, was father's proposition to use this army of furies to manipulate the Choshu into doing his bidding.
なるほど。話は分かった。
どうなのだ。長州側は奴らの誘いに乗ると思うか。
あいつらがそんな下道の策に乗るはずねえだろう。で、
Oops.
今長州の軍を動かしてる大村って男は高杉とは別の意味でぶっ飛んでる野郎でな。
It's worth noting, there are a great many otome games that center on the Shinsengumi, and quite a lot of them tend to include Takasugi as an option. This is like the only one that doesn't. Or it's one of the few that tends not to. He was an interesting and fairly pivotal character in history as well. It was worth looking up. He was on the Choshu side, of course.
What do you mean by crazy?
一言で言うと戦の天才ってのか。西洋の本で軍学を学んだだけなのに一度も戦に負けたことがねえって男だ。人間の世界の歴史が大きく動くときは決まってそういう奴らが何人も現れるんだよな。
Wait, so was he the one in charge of the army during the second Choshu expedition?
ああ、その大村と俺が護衛してた高杉って男だ。
During the second Choshu expedition, the shogunate commanded an army of over 150,000 soldiers at their command, but Choshu leaders were craftier than the shogunate expected, using the terrain to their advantage and forcing the shogunate soldiers to retreat. If the one responsible for that decisive victory were now at the helm of the Choshu's entire army, then would the shogunate soldiers, much less the Shinsengumi, have any chance of survival?
大村ならたとえ羅刹だろうが勝てるなら使うって言い出さねえとも限らねえ。何せ今回の戦には薩摩との手柄争いって面もあるからよ。
At one point, the Satsuma and Choshu domains were locked in a fierce rivalry of their own. Their alliance may have been predicated by their shared interest in dismantling the Tokugawa clan, but sooner or later there could be only room for one.
くだらん。
The only thing Kazama hated more than mankind was its greed, and he made no secret of his disdain. Shiranui, please. You must convince the Choshu not to use the Furies. Neither humans nor demons have the means of handling them if they start outnumbering us. Even if they win the war, it's only a matter of time until they're next on the chopping block.
わかってるって。長州はまがいものを使わなきゃ戦に勝てねえなんて思われるのも心外だしな。後のことは俺様に任せとけ。
頼りにしていいのか知らない。
てめえ、少しは鬼の仲間を信じやがれ。用事はそれだけだな。じゃあ俺はそろそろ退散させてもらうぜ。
Shiranui delicately placed his pistol back into its holster, smirking wryly as he stood up from his sitting position. Without another word, he sauntered out of the room.
Well, that was political. Thank you, Moobot. It is time to save.
A few days later, we received word that the tense negotiations between leaders of the Satsuma Choshu and the shogunate had concluded.
And now back to skin peeling.
Hoping to avoid another devastating loss, the shogunate surrendered control of Edo Castle over to the Satsuma Choshu. To my relief, Edo and its citizens were safe from a catastrophic battle, unlike Kyoto, which had been ravaged by the Battle of Toba Fushimi. Unfortunately, word of the surrender came late after the Shinsengumi had already departed Edo for Kofu. I later learned that neither Nagakura nor Harada were counted amongst the Shinsengumi's ranks. As for Okita, he too was absent from the convoy, as his condition worsened to the point that merely holding his sword was enough to exhaust him. My curiosity was driving me up the wall, and I wanted to learn more about their status, but Dr. Matsumoto was occupied with the tumultuous political climate, and letters were becoming fewer and farther between.
And yes, Okita has tuberculosis. History is a giant spoiler. He basically dies. Always.
Around the time of our correspondence, rumors that Kondo had surrendered to the Imperial Army reverberated all around Edo. May 1868. It was a brisk springtime evening.
土佐藩邸に身を隠している行動らに動きがあった。
He is.
向かう先は上野ですか？
So Ueno is an area that houses the Tokugawa clan in Edo. Kane Temple is located there, as its location is central to the rest of the city. For you geography fans. And true, he did survive past the conflict, but yup, the TV took him out.
おそらくはな。今この江戸で多くの血を得られそうな場所といえば他にあるまい。江戸を火の海にして多くの血を得るつもりだったのに、当てが外れ行動たちも焦っているはずだからな。
Ueno was a mountainous region slightly north of Edo. The Shogi Company was assembled by one of the former Bakushin, who recognized Ueno's potential as a strategic location against the Imperial Army.
So yeah, that's all we get about the Shogi Company. That's cool.
It was heavily populated with civilians and soldiers alike, making it the ideal location to feed thousands of Furies at once.
我々と共に来るつもりはあるか、雪村の娘。
Kazama's eyes flickered impertinently, almost as if he were testing me. My mind was already set, however. I am going. Please allow me to join you. Kazama squinted in response, staring blankly at me for a brief moment before relenting.
Yokaro.
I think he liked that? I'm confused again. Anyway.
His curt response was all I needed. When Kazama and I last spoke about matters concerning my father, he was dead set on prohibiting me from getting involved, but because the shogunate had surrendered their control of Edo Castle, I wasn't as worried about the looming fear of all-out war breaking out. If furies could no longer be used as leverage in the shifting tide of an approaching civil war, then perhaps my father would see the error in his ways once he realizes how little the Imperial Army values his experiments.
And she's still trying to talk him out of... Chizuru, please. Chorizo, please.
I wrestled with these thoughts as Kazama continued.
羅刹のうち半数ほどはすでに上野へ向かっているはずだ。
上野には長州藩士たちと共に知らぬいがいるはずです。
あの知らぬいがまがいものごときに殺されることはないだろうが、行動たちを片付けたらすぐに奴のところへ向かうぞ。
Okay, understood. Edo was blessed with a hushed calm as its residents slept peacefully in the dead of night. We snuck carefully through the city, arriving at the Tosa Domain's building of residence. It was eerily silent about the building's perimeter, almost as if the building was long since abandoned. I felt inexplicably anxious when the wind chimes hanging beside the building's entrance hauntingly rang.
人の姿が見当たらぬな。もしや、もう上野へ向かったとか。
Oh, Kazama, look! Over there! A shadow crawled on the building's wall. There's no way I could have mistaken it. I squinted to make out his face in the darkness. Our presence must have alerted his detection, and he leapt down from the building to greet us.
久しぶりだな。待ってたよ。可愛い妹。
Oh no.
Kaoru, no!
合同おじさんから聞いたよ。せっかくお前が俺たちの仲間に加わろうとしてくれたのに。
Oh, he's immediately awful. Yeah, pretty much. Worst child.
そこにいるやつに邪魔をされたらしいじゃないか。親子の感動の再会に水を差すなんて無粋にも程があるよな。
Wow, that's a face.
Kazama kept his guard raised, glaring at Kaoru without humoring his sarcasm.
で、今日は何の用で来たんだ？その二人と一緒に来たってことは、ろくな用事じゃなさそうだけど。
I wasn't sure if either Kaoru or father were interested in hearing me out, but if I hadn't taken the chance to speak with them first, Kazama would have murdered them without question. Moreover, no matter what happens, I had a responsibility to talk some sense into them. Kazama, please give me one more chance to convince them. Without moving his head, Kazama shifted his line of sight at me begrudgingly, taking his time to decide.
She had a better memory than the other. Yeah, you know.
好きにしろ。
Thank you. I felt a huge pang of relief, and after thanking Kazama, I turned to face Kaoru. I want you and Father to hear me out before this goes any further. Kaoru gazed at me coldly, pursing his lips as he thought about how to proceed.
なるほど。まあ、大体予想はつくけど。
Seriously, her persuasion skill is like not great. I don't think she has proficiency. She's just like, please don't kill. It's bad.
立ち話もなんだし、中に入りなよ。行動おじさんも待ちわびてるからさ。
That seems like a bad idea. How about no? We could totally talk outside.
千鶴、来てくれたのだね。
God damn it. Why are we do this?
Father. Although I made myself aware of all the horrible things my father had done over the past few years, every time he greeted me with his jovial smile, it shattered me to 1,000 pieces. Even if we weren't related by blood, he dedicated his life to raising me like a daughter.
Good night, Farrell. We're probably only gonna go for maybe another hour, I think.
As the guilt trickled in, I had to snap myself out of it, straightening my back as I spoke to them. I dreamt something. It wasn't much, but it was a memory from my childhood. I witnessed a vision of our village burning, and I recalled how the humans destroyed our way of life. Both of you were there to rescue me, and together we escaped the fire by fleeing desperately into the forest.
辛かっただろう。忘れていた痛みを思い出すのは。
I shook my head at him. It's not about me. I know the two of you have been mulling this trauma over for far longer than I have. After all that's happened, I can't blame either of you for holding on to your grudge against humanity for as long as you have.
それじゃ。
Kaoru attempted to interject, and I could have sworn I watched his expression begin to soften. Keeping all of this in mind, however, I implore the two of you not to unleash your fury, army. As soon as I mentioned the last part, both Kaoru and Father froze in shock. Luckily, we were able to avoid the terrors of war in Edo. Why do either of you seek to inflict pain on others? Haven't they suffered enough? I'm sure neither of you want to impose the same nightmarish fate that we've had to endure. Do you?
千鶴。
A forlorn expression covered Father's face. Kaoru, on the other hand, was less sympathetic to the point I was trying to make.
どうやら俺の妹は随分と幸せな人生を送ってきたみたいだね。
Oh boy. Now it all comes out.
Huh?
里を失った俺が土佐の南雲家に養子に出された後、どんな目に遭わされたか知ってる？子を産めない男鬼には価値がない。外れをつかまされたって散々言われて、生きてるのが嫌になるような目に遭わされたよ。おかげで人間も鬼も腹渡の腐り具合は大差ないってことを学ばせてもらったけどね。
So, you know, basically Kaoru just hates literally everyone and everything. It's fine.
Listening to Kaoru made my heart sink. All that time I was living peacefully with Father in Edo. Kaoru was forced to endure a miserable life without love or compassion. It explained so much. While I sympathized with his terrible circumstances, what do you want, brother?
I know, the quotes are so painful.
Do you want to use the Furies to rebuild the Yukimura clan? Is that what you really want?
決まってるじゃないか。そうでもしない限り、俺たちの両親は東国の名家雪村家を滅ぼした愚かな棟梁って汚名をずっと着せられ続けるんだぞ。この俺を虐げた南雲家、俺たちの苦境を知ってたくせに見殺しにした西国の鬼連中。
Friendly reminder, the demons of the West would include Kazama and his clan.
こいつらが平気な顔をして鬼の道理とやらを語るのをお前は許せるのか？
Nah, they're talking Western Japan. So, the Kazama clan, kind of the Yamagiri clan, I think. And then whatever others exist and survive and are in that region. The Kazama clan is the biggest one, though. Yeah, you went a little too far west.
Each word Kaoru spoke broke off another piece of my heart as his festering resentment came to light. Maybe I judged him incorrectly, and the only thing that could soothe his restless soul was if he exacted revenge on every person that ever harmed or wronged him in the past. Perhaps there was no other way. Kazama stepped in front of me all of a sudden. He hadn't even looked at me as he spoke.
下がれ。
Kazama. Just as I feared, the time had finally come. Kazama decided he'd had enough, and was moving towards killing my father and Kaoru if they chose not to cooperate. Kazama,
下がれと言っているのだ。
He barked at me sternly, and I did as commanded. He reached his hand toward the hilt of his katana. In one swift movement, it had been unsheathed. Kazama held it comfortably in his palm as if it were an extension of his own arm, and like a dragon's scale it sparkled, illuminating the room.
Ooh, fancy sword. So, Yasutsuna's Demon Slayer, a sword that presumably only exists in legends, having been forged sometime during the Heian period by Master Yatsutsuna. Part of its legend comes from the tale that it slayed Shuten Doji, the ruler of all demons. So it's important.
鬼殺しの刀を持ち出してきたってことは本気で俺たちを殺すつもりなんだろう。
I think it might be the angle. There's like a little bit of foreshortening going on.
ならこっちも相応の礼をもって答えさせてもらうよ。
Kaoru slipped his hand into his pocket, drawing from it a crystalline vial. Oh no, it was... Is that the water of life? Why would Kaoru be using that? No!
誇り高き鬼の棟梁、まがいものに身を落とすつもりか、愚かな。
お前と俺の誇りの形が違うだけさ。
Yeah, pretty much. If it's longer than a wakizashi, it's technically a katana. At least that's been my understanding.
俺は何があってもここでお前に殺されてやるわけにはいかないんだ。
Brother, no! Taking a split second to decide, I sprinted towards Kaoru to snatch the serum away from him, but
触れな!
as I got within arm's reach, Kaoru extended his hands backwards and slapped me, crumpling me to the floor. I was too late. Kaoru gripped his chest as he moaned in anguish. As he let the vial slip from his hand, it shattered once it landed. Just then, I witnessed what appeared to be a white flame. Kaoru's eyes suddenly turned gold, and similar to what happened to Father, horns began to protrude from his wide forehead. My twin brother Kaoru Nagumo had drunk the water of life and become a fury.
これなら少しはマシな戦いができそうだろう。風間千景。
He's so tiny, though.
Kazama muttered coolly under his breath.
And he just, like, does it, because whatever.
All of a sudden, an aura emanated from Kazama as his body shapeshifted, revealing his true demon self.
And yeah, Sen got horns in the Heisuke playthrough. Kazama don't need no fucking water of life to transform. He just does it.
Both of them radiated chakra-like spheres of energy, glowing white-hot as they charged at one another. The thunderous clang of their blades echoed deafeningly around the room. Their agility was superhuman, making it difficult to track the paths of their swords as they rapidly traded a flurry of unrelenting attacks.
It is super fucking anime right now.
見える。 見えるよ、お前の動きが。これなら一時もかからずに勝負がつきそうだな。
Sparks flew as their sharp swords cracked into one another, and neither was willing to let up steam.
行動。お前の相手は私がしよう。
Oh, cool.
いざ尋常に。
I guess Amagiri's gonna go punch Kodo.
Amagiri called out to Father, dropping into a low fighting stance, but Father seemed unamused.
そう焦らずとも良いでしょう。せっかくの機会ですから、私の可愛い子供たちの相手をしてあげてください。
Father put 2 fingers to his mouth and whistled.
Except that was a finger snapping sound effect. God damn it.
From behind us, I heard the ominous creak of doors all sliding open. Within seconds, our worst fears were realized.
Oh, lordy.
We suddenly found ourselves surrounded by a bevy of red eyes, all eagerly looking to feast upon us.
So many fury. Help.
Amagiri was the first to react, throwing fast kicks and punches at the Furies funneling into the room, but
Gotta love that clone stamp.
not even Amagiri's exceptional martial arts technique could subdue the incoming Furies, and they closed in without flinching.
おのれ。
Amagiri had the advantage of battle-worn experience and superior physical strength, but his attacks did little to stunt their vicious fervor, and soon dozens of Furies had us cornered. Amagiri! Kazama! Fearing for their safety, I grabbed a hold of my Kodachi in order to join them in the fight. Suddenly, however, I was taken from behind.
千鶴、今のうちにここを出よう。
Not okay.
Father!
誰が何と言おうと、お前は雪村一族の鬼なのだ。
Yeah, context for that line would have... Yeah. Anyway.
そして我々と共に来ることこそ、お前の亡くなった両親が最も望んでいたことなのだよ。
How about no? No! Let me go! I attempted to wrestle myself out of Father's grip, but
He probably had her upper arm, therefore she can't do anything because tropes.
he forcibly pinned me with both of his arms, making it nearly impossible for me to break free. Father, what is it you plan on doing with me after you take me away? Don't tell me it's true. Don't tell me you expect me to bear children with Furies.
我ら日の本の鬼と
Ew.
西洋の鬼。歴史上決して交わることがなかった生き物同士が交わり、より優れた子孫を残すのだ。
Just no? All the no?
これは千鶴、お前の定めに違いあるまい。
Nah, that's okay.
おそらくお前はこのために生まれてきたのだ。
Nah.
Father's words paralyzed me with fear, and at first nothing he said was registering. Is this what he had planned for me when he took me in as a daughter?
Hey, that's a fridge horror moment.
If all went according to his plan, then the casualties wouldn't be limited to our country alone. This affliction could potentially spread around the world, devastating countless innocent lives. couldn't bear to let my life amount to this. Nor could I stand to let myself be attached to such a horrifying crime against humanity.
I must end my life? That's a strong turn around.
My eyes flicked down to my waist, and I struggled in Father's arms to try grabbing for my kodachi, but with both my arms still pinned, I had no hope of unsheathing it.
何をしている。危ないことはやめなさい。
Father attempted to pry the kodachi away from me, but it proved difficult as I jostled myself in his arms.
There are so many questionable choices in this route.
その手を離せ、コード。
It's fine. Let's just let Kazama save us, I guess.
Both Father and I became still as we watched Kazama saunter toward us coldly.
バカな。なぜこんなに早く。もしや、カオル君が敗れたとでも。
聞こえぬのか。話せと言ったのだ。
Yeah, no kidding, lady.
Father smirked, continuing to ignore his command. Kazama shifted his eyes at me momentarily, looking at me intently as he motioned with his lips. It was almost as if he were attempting to express his desire to kill Father, whether or not I approved.
Well, walkthrough time. We gon' tell him it's okay.
I tried so many times to get through to Father. I spilled my heart out, and still he refused to listen. At some point, I had to accept the truth. Our paths had diverged, and it was unlikely we would ever see eye to eye about the atrocities he threatened to commit. Unfortunately, it left us with no other choice. I looked Kazama in the eye, and without another second to hesitate, I nodded firmly. Judging by his wry smile, it seemed Kazama understood everything.
お前には酷な眺めとなるだろう。目を閉じていろ。
I appreciated Kazama's curt sentiment, but... No. I am one of them. I too am a demon of the Yukimura clan. The least I could do is dignify him with the honor of watching his final moments.
見た目に似合わず気丈な女だ。後悔しても知らんぞ。
I don't know anymore.
Kazama seemed certain about it, but... This was something I knew I couldn't regret. If this was the fate of Kaoru, Father, and myself, then so ends the legacy of the Yukimura clan.
Are we having regrets, Danny? It's so fucking confusing.
Our shared heritage meant that they would always be connected to me and I to them. Our paths were interwoven and their deaths were on my hands.
さてコード、覚悟はできた。せめて苦しませぬようあの世へ送ってやろう。
Kazama raised his sword arm high above Father's head and stepped within inches of his face. Panic suddenly set in for Father, realizing there would be no escape from this execution until... Father's eyes glowed menacingly and he focused his fury powers within himself, causing the ground to rumble underneath our feet.
I'm too short for this ride. It's wild. Oh, thanks for that facto drop, the narcissist. Thanks.
Father broke away from me to charge towards Kazama. But it was no use. Their difference in power was palpable. Kazama effortlessly swung the sword at Sith's.
Wow. I fucked up that line.
Kazama effortlessly swung his sword at the speed of light. As soon as I blinked, I watched a deep, wide gash appear across Father's sunken chest.
Nailed it. Listen, it's late. I've been role-playing all fucking day. Eventually you get tired and words get harder. Can't be a perfect take every time.
Eventually, a splash of crimson blood cascaded in the air. Father desperately cried in agony, dropping lifelessly to the floor, limp as a stone. Kazama flicked his sword downward to swat the blood sticking to its blade, then sheathed it as if to make a conclusive statement. Father! I ran to his corpse and something peculiar occurred. All of the color left his pale, freezing skin. His flesh began to smolder, similar to the burnt end of an incense, and slowly turned to ash in front of me. As he disintegrated before my eyes, what remained of his body floated away with the breeze, leaving nothing in its wake. Father. At long last, Father was dead. The man for whom I had spent years searching had once again exited my life without a word. Although I had accepted the possibility of his death ages ago, my body felt suddenly light, perhaps feeling his empty weight in my broken heart.
Sword flicks and chill. God damn it.
Words escaped me entirely. I traced his path, thinking all the ways things could have fallen apart for him. Reflecting on these hypothetical circumstances just sent me into a defeated slump. And without saying a word, Kazama drew me in closer to his chest.
Well, hey, we got a CG out of it, so that's cool. I guess he's just basically like, oh, is this where hugging is appropriate or something?
Kazama. I couldn't bear to look up at him. Whatever Kazama had to say on the matter was an enigma to me, but for now I took solace in the comfort of his arms. Because I don't think I could have stood by myself if I wanted to. What happened to Kaoru? Did you... What did I want to say? Kill him? The words wouldn't form in my mouth.
中では追わせたが取り逃がした。
Well, damn. Rotten little brother is still alive. Big brother. Whatever. Stupid twin brother who is awful. All the awful.
鬼殺しの刀でつけた傷だからな。治るまでは相当の時間を要するはずだ。
The tone of Kazama's voice gave me the impression that he was trying to put me at ease, but I doubted that Kaoru would completely heal from a wound of that magnitude. However, that he attempted to show me kindness made all the difference in this vulnerable moment.
P.S. He's probably gonna die slowly, but job's done.
Father was a truly wonderful man. Truly. My heart felt so heavy that I barely noticed the tears sliding down my cheeks.
Oh no. What now? Oh, Narcissus. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yep.
He was a humble, generous man. He cared so much for his patients and always strived to better himself.
I know, like, 2 seconds ago, he's basically like, hey, I need you to make babies, but whatever. She's clearly way too fucking nice.
I was proud to call him my father. For so many years we lived as just the two of us. It was peaceful. Far from anything like this. The bittersweet memory of my childhood came flooding back to me, which only seemed to exacerbate my flowing tears.
Yeah, this Chizuru is a giant fucking mess, honestly.
I wonder what happened that caused him to change so drastically.
里を滅ぼされていなければ、かの者たちが悪しき心を宿すことなどなかった。すべては人間どもが成した悪行が原因だ。
Here we go again with the, by the way, humans really suck. Yeah, damsel in distress is a good way to put it. Bleh. Heisuke's route between each new route. Oh god. I mean... Eventually I would like to play another game, and we have, you know, at least 10 more dudes to get through here, so... But maybe we'll play Heisuke's again as the last route, just to, like, come full circle. He hate them humans.
There was a resentful undertone lurking underneath Kazama's hushed voice. Kazama was unashamedly proud to be a demon. Eventually, this pride morphed into hatred, a potent discontent for everyone he considered beneath him. For Kazama, I can only imagine how difficult it must have been to murder one of his own kin. It's fine. I understand.
We do? Do we understand? Because I don't understand. What are we understanding? And the blah. Whatever. Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
Although humans were responsible for the death of my people, which led to them following this path of bitter revenge. Father and Kaoru chose to let it consume them to the point of no return. However, it was easier to talk about it than it was to accept. I'm just so heartbroken. I sobbed so hard that my eyes began to burn. Kazama, sensing my pain, gripped me tighter. I know what you mean, though. Some humans are unmistakably evil, but others are okay. Tears dripped into my mouth as I spoke shakily. But there are so many of them who commit to their lives to pursuits other than power and money. In my experience, the Shinsengumi weren't concerned with selfish goals in order to live fulfilling lives. I wanted nothing more than to learn of their fate. I must find them, wherever they were.
So, you know, now that we're done trying to convince evil dad and stupid brother to not be psychotic, let's go find the Shinsengumi, because what the fuck else are we gonna do for the next, like, 3 or 4 chapters?
Now that I had lost father, there weren't many other convictions worth seeing to their end.
I
feel like they're having a very hard time manufacturing a plot for this route.
相手が羅刹とはいえ、あの白縫いが遅れを取ることはないと思いますが、援護に向かいますか。
そうするか。
Kazama nodded toward Amagiri before turning to face me once more.
お前は先に宿へ戻っていろ。
What? I can't just let you two handle this alone.
Yeah, I think they've extended Kazama's route significantly, but it's actually kind of suffering for it in this game. The stuff they added into Kyoto Winds was good, because you actually like got to see a little more of him and it was less random. But it, like, trying to extend this out into a full-blown route is feeling a little problematic, because they're definitely having points where they're like, how do we ensure that there's a reason these two continue to hang out together? Let's make some shit up.
「その死人のような顔で何ができるというのだ。さっさと宿に戻り体を休めておけ。いいな。
I was deeply concerned with the outcome of the battle in Ueno, but I trusted Kazama to take care of things. And I was comforted by the fact he was looking out for me. Okay. Got it. I did as he told me and returned to the inn.
Look, we literally have the entire fucking plot of his arc. I did as he told me. Sorry, was that very salty?
After hours of waiting, Kazama finally returned, slinking into the inn with a reserved expression.
上野にいたまがい者どもは知らぬいがすべて片付けたそうだ。
Cool. Thanks for all of the plot that just happened off screen.
新選組の連中を追うつもりならば旅支度をしておけ。
Salt this. Thanks for the cheers, Danny.
No, she does not act like this on the other routes. She's fantastic on Heisuke's route.
Shio desu.
An entire half a spine in Heisuke. Like, she does her thing there by basically continuing to like be positive and help the poor kid emotionally cope. I haven't played through the others on these versions of the games. I've played the original game like a long ass time ago. This is the first time I'm playing through the remakes. Heisuke's route is the only one we have completed on stream. We're about to finish up Kazama's eventually, and then we're gonna move on to one of the other guys. I am gonna stream this fucking game until I'm done with it all.
He spoke curtly, leaving me with that as he exited my bedroom. The next day I returned to my childhood home on the outskirts of Edo. As I snuck inside, my eyes were drawn to a chest full of father's belongings, including some of his old clothes and medical tools. I wanted to cry, but there was no time for tears. I grabbed an armful of my belongings and swiftly packed them into my satchel for safekeeping. I was startled by the creak of the front door. As I peeked my head out, I saw.
Oh, hey, look. He changed clothes.
I nearly didn't recognize him, as he was sporting Western-styled clothing that was so foreign to me. His new uniform clung to the dimensions of his body so nicely that I couldn't help but blush at how fetching he had looked.
Jeez, Chizuru, contain your thirst.
I looked away to keep from staring at him.
She's like, oh my god, he's so hot.
なんだその目は。もしやお前も筒袖を着たいのか。
How is he so clueless at such random points? Like, what? There's the swanky outfit. Yay. Oh, I guess we'll do that.
Interesting.
I think, if I remember right, she might be a little on the passive side in like Sano's route, but it's not intolerable. Chizuru does get a Western outfit, but it's not quite like this. We kinda saw it in the opening movie.
No! Under normal circumstances, it was unlikely that anyone would ever see clothes like what Kazama had been wearing. I don't need them. Besides, they look a little uncomfortable.
そんなことはない。むしろ和装より動きやすいほどだ。いつかお前にもあつらえてやろう。楽しみにしていろ。
What? What the fuck? What? I want to bang my head on the desk right now. Ugh. God damn it.
No, I couldn't.
俺がお前に送りたいと思っているから送るのだ。つまらぬ遠慮などするな。
He's like, look, I'm trying to be nice here. Stop being a whiny bitch. My brain. I just I can't anymore. Ah!
Oh.
人を待たせてある。行くぞ。
What people? I followed Kazama outside into the front yard, still overrun with weeds, and there stood... Oh, Shiranui.
Wow, why is he glaring so fucking hard?
So you're the person waiting for us? Although I had clearly addressed him, Shiranui ignored me, making me think I was imagining things.
God damn it, Danny. I should not have looked at chat at the end of that line. You know, Rude, you might not be wrong.
After a moment, he stared at me intensely. Did something happen? Yet again, he didn't respond, choosing instead to chew on his lips as he chose his words carefully.
新選組に原田ってやつがいたのを覚えてるだろ?
Oh no.
Of course. Harada was one of the kindest people I met when I lived with the Shinsengumi. It confused me as to why Shiranui would mention him. As I considered the possibilities, it hit me. It felt as though I had been struck with an arrow to the chest, and suddenly it was difficult to breathe. No, it can't be. Did something happen to Harada? I tried chewing these thoughts away, thinking myself as something of a cynic. But Shiranui spoke up.
原田のやつが亡くなった。上野で羅刹と戦った果てにな。
Rip.
What? Even though I had braced myself for the possibility, nothing could soften the blow of the truth.
Harada is the one with the spear. Red hair, gold eyes. Pretty nice. One of the bro squad.
Why would Harada...
Yep. One of the bro squad. The tall one.
Because Dr. Matsumoto mentioned something about how Harada was no longer marching with the Shinsengumi. I had no idea he was involved in the battle at Ueno.
行動たちの動きを探ってた時、偶然あいつに声をかけられてな。こっちの事情を明かしたら、変な義教心にでも駆られやがったのが、急に俺と一緒に羅刹どもと戦うなんて言い出しやがってよ。俺が気に入ったやつってのは、どうしてすぐに死んじまうんだろうな。
Although I watched Shiranui's lips moving, my mind instinctively muted everything else he was saying. I tried my best to focus on the image of Harada. There was nothing of worth that I can contribute, so I simply stood there, demoralized and numb. Harada, the epitome of bravery and manliness.
That's a weird statement.
Although to others it seemed like he was rough around the edges. I remembered him more as a gentle, courageous soul. How could someone so beautiful die so young?
泣いている暇などないぞ。奴らを追わねばならぬのだろう。
Yes. Just as I thought Harada's death was the epilogue to our harrowing journey. It proved, in fact, to be only the beginning to the depressing news that awaited us beyond.
And on that happy note, it's probably a good spot to end for the evening. War never changes. God damn it. Oh, Danny. Goodness me. Well, I think we're getting away from the psycho bullshit, at least temporarily, and now we're just gonna keep finding out what happens to the Shinsengumi, and it's just gonna be fucking sad. So, you know, that's gonna be exciting. Oh, let's see here. Oops. Actually. Yeah. Boop. What have we got? However many variations of those. Wow, we have a lot of CGs to still unlock. We're ready to jump ship on this one, aren't we? I think we're... We have 2 more chapters to go. And then... and then we move on to the next route. So, my friends, I'm gonna go back to something quieter and sweeter. What are we thinking? Who are we thinking for the next route? Should I put a vote out later, like a poll or something, or do we have thoughts? Ha! Thanks, Narcissus, for the plug. Sano? Anyone? Lynn, we can't just keep playing Heisuke's route over and over. Alright, we've got mostly Sano, a vote for Dad, a vote for Heisuke, which I am blatantly ignoring because goddammit, we just played that shit and I don't want to cry again. Alright. Well, it sounds like Sano might be next. You guys. We do still have bad endings to get from Heisuke's Edo Blossoms. So I will have to do that eventually. So we might be replaying some Heisuke, but we're gonna get the sad shit. I'm now just a Hakuoki streamer exclusively. Is that even a... How would that even fucking work? Huh. Well. Alright. I think we'll say Sano because that seems to be the majority vote here. And I think that'll be nicely, that'll be a nice balance. Oh my god. Just play all the routes and then have people join in for an abridged version? That actually sounds really great. That is super tempting. We could turn off the voices. Best bro voice. Oh god. If I can logistically figure out how to make that work, perhaps we will do it after we've finished all the routes. It could be super fun. Well, I'm wondering if I could use Zoom and do a screen share. Bonus material. Nagakura yells at background dogs. Oh my god. I am excited for this prospect. Yeah, I think using Zoom and doing a screen share would probably work. We'll test it out at some point. I think I get what you were getting at, lady. Basically just like, it's funnier because you all have to go by memory. Oh boy. We'll tackle whatever that shit show ends up looking like eventually. However, I think that's good enough for tonight. We will more than likely finish Kazama's route tomorrow, and we can then move on to Sano. Alright, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow night for more samurai bullshit.
Sayonara.
And thank you, as always, for joining me. You make it 1,001 times more fun than anything ever. Have a good night, my darlings. Bye!